There are three tools here inside of Photoshop that often confuse a lot of people. They're not quite sure when they should be using one versus the other. They are the Move tool, the Path Selection tool, and the Direct Selection tool. So let's clear up that just now. Firstly, let's examine what's going on inside of this Photoshop document just here. Here inside of my Layers panel, this first layer just here, the red dot, it's a pixel-based layer. I created that by just grabbing the brush tool, choosing a color of red, and drawing a single dot on that layer. Similarly, this green dots layer, paintbrush, chose green, 2 dots on that one layer. Now this blue dot layer just here, this is vector-based content. And I created this by coming down to the ellipse tool just here, setting this to shape, choosing a fill color of blue, drag out a dot. Similarly, this black dots layer just here, chose a fill color of black, and just dragged out 2 dots on this one layer just here. So keep in mind, guys, the content on the left just here, the red and the green dots, they are pixel-based content. The dots on the right just here, the blue and the black dots, they are vector-based content. Okay, let's dive in. So let's go and grab the Move tool just here, and I'll try and grab the red dot just here, and I get an error message. Photoshop's telling me to first select a layer. Choosing OK, Layers panel, choose the red dot layer. Now I can happily move it around. Of course, if I try to move the green dots, all I end up doing is continuing to move the red dot layer, because of course I need to select the green dots layer. Now I can happily move them around. So, can I grab the blue dot with the Move tool? And the answer is yes. If I select the blue dot, I can happily move it around. So this is an important distinction here compared to what we'll see later, guys. The Move tool just here, it can happily move around pixels or vectors. It doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate. You can happily move anything with that tool. So let me back up a few steps just here. So we've been first having to select a layer within the Layers panel to move that around. Note there's an option up here called Auto Select. If I turn this on, and actually within the Layers panel, I'll just click in a blank part, notice absolutely nothing's selected. Check this out. Move the red dot, blue dot, green dots, black dot. The Auto Select feature is having Photoshop grab whatever content is below the mouse and moving it when I use the Move tool. Very powerful. Some people love this feature, some people hate it. Let me back up just here. So guys, if you'd rather have it off, but only temporarily activate this Auto Select feature, you actually can without even having to come up here and turn it on. You can do that by holding down the Command or the Control key. So notice again, this option's off. Now I'm going to hold down the Command or the Control key just now. Notice the option comes on. I can happily move my content around. As soon as I release the key, which I'll do just now, Auto Select turns itself off. Very powerful. Very nice. Okay, so that's the Move tool. So let's go and have a look at the next one, which is the Path Selection tool just here. So let's look at the red dot just here. So even if I select it within the Layers panel, I click on it, nothing happens. I try to move it, nothing happens. No big surprises. The Path Selection tool is all about selecting paths. Of course, a pixel-based layer, which is what the red dot is just pixels. There's no paths. So the Path Selection tool has absolutely no use when it comes to the red or the green dots just here. So let's go and select the blue dot layer just here. And if I click once on it out here on the canvas, I can select it and happily move it around like so. So you might be thinking, big deal, couldn't we just move this thing around with the Move tool? The answer is yes. Let's have a look at when we come down to the black dot layer though. Okay, so I've got it selected. Now, if I click once on this black dot on the left, check this out. It's become selected. The black dot on the right has not. So I can now move one black dot relative to the other. So the Path Selection tool just here is allowing me to move paths independently of the other paths, all within the same layer. Something that the Move tool can't do. Let me undo a couple of steps just there. Now notice again, guys, we've been having to select the layers first, and notice this option just up here. It's currently set to Active Layers. There is an option just here, All Layers. I'm going to select that just now. Layers panel, I'll click in a blank part. So nothing's selected, and we're using All Layers just up here. So if I click on the blue dot, it selects the blue dot. If I come down and click on one of the black dots, it's jumping me to that black dot layer just there. So I can move the black dot like so, blue dot like so. Excuse me, you first have to select it. Let me back up again there, guys. Click on the black dot, you can move it. Click on the blue dot, then you can happily move it. Okay, I'll just back up there like so. So again, like the move tool, you want to be keeping your eye on the options up here within the options bar. Okay, that just leaves one tool, right? The direct selection tool. So I'll select it, and let's set this back to active layers again. And of course, like before, this is a vector-based tool. So this is going to have absolutely no use when it comes to a pixel-based layer like the red or the green dots just here. So we've got the direct selection tool just here. Now this is all about going after the individual anchor points within paths, okay? So if we want to select the path as a whole, that's what the path selection tool is all about. If we want to start manipulating individual anchor points on paths, that's what the direct selection tool is all about. So I'm going to select that. We've got the blue dot layer just here. So I can select all of the individual points and move them all around. Not very powerful, I know. This tool, of course, becomes very powerful when we just select an individual anchor point, and then we can start to move it around like so. Very cool. Now notice if I try and select something on the black dots layer just down here, nothing's happening. No big surprises there. We all know what we're doing just now. There's an option just up here. We will change it from active layers to all layers. Now, even with the blue dot layer selected, I can select an anchor point on the black dots layer. Now I can happily move that out there like so. I'll just back up a couple of steps again, guys. Again, so we're using the direct selection tool. I've got this set to all layers. Nothing selected here inside of the layers panel. If I say click and drag over both the blue and the black dots, their right edges, you can see I've been able to select just those anchor points on those two shapes on two separate layers. Incredibly powerful. So I might wrap things up just there, guys. So that's the move tool just up here. The keyboard shortcut is V. And the other two tools down here, the path selection tool and the direct selection tool. Also, I didn't explicitly state before, guys, they have keyboard shortcuts of A. So if you hold down A, and if you then hold down Shift A, it will toggle you between those two vector tools just there. Okay, I hope that clears up any confusion you might have had with those three tools. Catch you later.